back to Farming Simulator, and a bit of a different video today. Well, maybe not actually. I'm going to have a look at installing the Alien Gym's right-hand drive traffic into a few different maps, because it's a slightly more involved process than sometimes. But if you're into your realism and you don't like, I'm on Attingham Park and we've got left-hand drive traffic. So the Alien Gym has created these models, so I'm going to take you through on Attingham, Maypole and Greenland, so just to show you a few different times where to place it. Hopefully that covers most maps, but yeah, it's a bit more difficult than some of the tutorials that I've done on this kind of thing. Definitely if you're using a map that you've edited, back it up before you start, and it may not be for you. It took me quite a few attempts to get this to work on some of the maps, so give it a try. If it doesn't work, it's generally not going to mess things up too much. So yeah, with that said, let's get out to the mods folder, because we need to edit the map. It's all Notepad++. It's not Giants editor, so it's not super scary. But yeah, let's get out to the mods folder and have a look at how we do this. So in my mods folder, I have very few mods in here. This is not a mod. This is the prefab, so you need to go into the prefabs section of Mod Hub on the website. I'll put a link for it below, by Alien Gym. Really cool prefab. I'm really liking my prefabs at the moment. And the first thing we're going to want to do is unzip that with 7-zip. I've then got Attingham Park, a Riverview Farm, not Maypole, and Greenlands. And I'm just going to go through all of them and show you how to install it. Just so you can see different places on where you need to place the folders. So for each map, we're going to have to go through and unzip it, because we need to edit stuff. So I find the best way to do that is to unzip it. And as we unzip it, I'm going to delete them. As I said, if you have created an edit of the map in any way, then back it up and then copy the zip file somewhere else. The reason I'm deleting them is I made the mistake when I was trying to add it of not removing the zipped file, and the game loads that first and it was looking like it didn't work. Okay, so in the prefab, we have a vehicles folder. This has all of the details for the cars. And it has, in the maps folder, it has a traffic system. So let's go into Greenlands first, and we're going to navigate in, and ideally your map has a traffic system file, because that means we can just copy and paste the new one over and replace it. So that's what we're going to do on Greenlands. So we're going to go into the prefab folder, into maps, and we're going to copy the traffic system file, go back to Greenlands, into maps and maps FR, where the traffic system file is, and we're going to paste it in, and we want to replace it. So we're then going to go back to the prefab, into vehicles, into car, into vehicle, no, back to the prefab folder. We're going to copy the vehicles folder. We're going to go back into Greenlands. We're going to go to this level. So one folder. So we put the traffic file in here. We're going to go up one level, and we're going to paste in the vehicles folder. And let's reload the game and check that that's worked, and you can see what they look like. And so I've loaded up Greenland, and there we go. There is our car with our right-hand driver in it. Simples. The longest job was finding a car, and now there are a few. So you get pretty much the same cars, I think, as base game traffic, but yeah, you get the drivers on the correct side of the vehicle. No number plates. I'm not sure how you do that. Haven't looked. Just wanted to show you how to add in the prefab, basically. So that's Greenland, and that works on a lot of maps. So if there is a traffic system file, you overwrite that with the one from the prefab, and you put the vehicles folder in the folder above. That's kind of, that's it. Then it works. Let's have a look at a map which is a little bit more complicated. So back out to the mod. So next, we are very quickly going to have a look at Riverview Farm, because it's pretty much the same as Greenland. So we're going to go into the maps folder of the prefab, copy the traffic system file, go into Riverview Farm, into maps, into map FR, There is a traffic system file, so we can just paste that there and replace it. Back into the mods folder, into prefabs, copy vehicles, into Riverview Farm, into maps, and paste it there. And we'll go back and look at that in a moment when I reload the game. Okay, so now let's have a look at Attingham Park. So if we go into the Attingham Park folder and into maps, we will see that there is no traffic system file, which is what we need to replace. So we're going to have to find out where it's getting its traffic from. So if we go to the map i3D file, right click on it, and we're going to edit it with Notepad++. And because I've been doing this, it's there already. But if you search for traffic system, and this will apply to any map where you're struggling to find where it's getting the traffic system from, if you search for it, it'll show you the line we have here, and you can see that it's taking it from the base game file. So $data means it's a base game data file, and it's taking it from the French map. What we need to do is tell it to take it from our map folder, and the way we do that is to delete the $data, and we're going to delete that. So that's because for Attingham Park, the folder that it's in is in maps. So if it was in maps/maps fr, like some of the other maps, we'd have to put maps fr. And that's partly why I said this tutorial is a bit more difficult. If there's a traffic system file in the mod already, it's really easy. Once we get to this, it's a bit more complicated, but we're going to save this. So we've got maps/traffic system.xml. We then need to go into the prefab, grab our vehicles folder, copy that, and paste that into the folder above this. So just here. Let's reload the game, check these have worked, and then I'll come back out and I'll show you how to rezip the map, because you really want to zip it up when you're playing. So who spotted my obvious mistake? Was it you? Took me a little minute because I forgot to copy in the traffic system file, which is kind of important when you're telling it to look for a traffic system file. I did say this was a slightly more complex tutorial. Now let's load up the game and have a look. Okay, so on Riverview Farm first, and there you can see we have our right-hand drive cars. In fact, we have two of them. So that one's worked. So that was another easy case. So let's go have a look at Attingham and see if that has. So we're on Attingham now, and before we go see if this has worked, if you think this video has been interesting, click the like button, leave me a comment, and if you're not, and more than half of you aren't, subscribe and turn on notifications, because that helps me like I'm trying to help you. So let's see if we can now find some traffic. Some went past, so it's here. So there we go. There's a car. What are you thinking? Left or right-hand drive? There we go. Our right-hand drive car. So that has been adding the Alien Gyms prefab traffic into 3 different maps. As I said, if there's a traffic system file there, it's really easy. You just overwrite it and then copy the vehicles file to the directory above where that is. So you saw 2 examples of that. If, like Attingham Park, it's relying on a traffic system file from the base game, then you need to get the path right for where you're putting that, and then put the vehicles folder 1 directory above that. So that's kind of it. I say it's not as easy as some of the tutorials. I would say if you're not confident with this, then maybe don't give it a go. Ask a friend who maybe is. I cannot do this for all of you, you know. I do not edit other people's mods and distribute them. So yeah. If you can't do it, sorry, maybe talk to the modder that made the map, see if they'll implement it, because, you know, it's a prefab, so it's there for modders to use. It's the really cool thing about prefabs. If someone uploads a prefab to a map, a modder can just use it. That's awesome. So there'll be a link for this one below. I really like it, and that's it. So yeah, I'll see you next time on Farming Simulator 20. I did forget. I said I'd do it. Let's just show you how to rezip a map. So just go into the first level of the map folder, hold down Control and A, that will select everything. Right click, 7-zip, add to map name.zip. It will compress the file for us into a zip. We're then going to do Control X to cut that file, go up to the mods folder, Control V to paste, and then delete the folder. And you're done. I'd forgotten that. Sorry. I will see you next time.